Hello everyone, this is Fons and welcome to another personality reading. Today we're going to be talking about Zhang. Hopefully I got that right. Don't ping me too much because when it comes to Mandarin, I can barely read pinyin, alright? We not gonna do that. So going forward, we're just gonna be talking about what he's like in his public personality and what his true persona is like naturally, as we have done so in the last readings. So start off what he's like publicly is the Star, Five of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, and Seven of Wands. So he's very passionate, very thankful to his fans and for the opportunities he got. Feel very blessed, very much the vibes of like, I know I'm motherfucking blessed and I'm gonna show it and I'm gonna make sure my fans feel appreciated. He also is the type that shows that he is honestly daggum near forever enduring. Like, I'm gonna hold on tight. Like, anything I go through, I'm gonna be the one to persevere. I'm gonna try my best to persevere. Also very loving, values the relationships with those around him, just very sweet and kind. Also, not afraid to stand up for himself. When he don't like something, he gonna motherfucking say it. Or he can get defensive quite quickly. One or the other. He could probably get defensive quite quickly. It's more so I feel like I could attribute to this persona. So when it comes to arguing games, he's the one who's like, bitch, what the fuck? Type of vibe. So into the true persona, or what we don't see, is Nine of Swords, Two of Swords, Nine of Wands, Knight of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, and Queen of Pentacles. So I'm pretty sure a lot of lay fans know this. Also, let me read the overalls, hold on, before we get too deep. Is a Two of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, the Chariot, Seven of Wands, Five of Wands, Five of Swords, and the Devil. So I'm sure a lot of lay fans know this, but he is very anxious. He probably struggles with anxiety. If you don't know this, now you're hearing it from me. Also picking on Nine of Cups. He's very anxious. Like, ridiculously so. As in, like, he might have more anal behavior or expresses discipline in certain areas when it comes to structure and stuff, because it makes him calm and it gives him a sense of peace. So I ain't gonna go out there and stretch and say OCD, but it's very anal, tight, stiff, rigid. What was it? What was the word? Damn it. Anyway, you know where I was going with that. Routines, stiff routines, because it makes him feel better. It makes him feel safe. Routine as is. Like, he might have the type of anxiety where dissociation is the thing that could happen. Depression, like, he, not often, but when anxiety gets to him, he can kind of spiral and freak and bug out. He also kind of keeps things on the inside. It just feels like, rather than like not sharing his feelings, it's almost like he hasn't yet come to grips with the idea that his mental health is not always going to be in the best shape. Or it's almost, I guess, to put it in a more realistic perspective, it's one of those things where it's like he thinks that he can deal with, having anxiety attacks or anxiety to this degree for a while because it's digestible and, he can crash later. However, of course, as time goes on, and I just feel like realistically, you can only put your body emotionally and even physically through so much before, effects start to happen to you. So he should come to grips with that, but it's almost like he might have some issues with denying his mental health. He might be a bit childish in some regards, that when he just doesn't want to accept something, he just won't. So he might even be the type to start distracting himself. Like, you could be trying to have like a deep, vulnerable conversation with him, and then he'll bring up something about cartoons as a means of distraction, because it's like, I really just don't want to go that deep, which can be kind of toxic. But then again, everyone in their own ways is toxic. It just seems like his shadow is a very big burden to him, and rather than dealing it with a more logical and detached sense like others, his sense of detachment is almost regressive in a manner. He can be a bit argumentative and stubborn and stand his ground, but I feel like that side of him, that more rigid, harsh, like unfeeling side, only comes out when he feels deep emotion, or it's something that really is just like a raw wound and nerve for him. It just kind of seems like if he's gone through anything in childhood, this is where that came from. And it probably could have came specifically from the way a certain one of his caregivers was acting, and he watched them never learn to deal with it, and it's kind of possibly the same for him. But on the brighter side, of course, is with the Queen of Pentacles. He is very nurturing. He might not be a super baby kid type of person when it comes to children. If he enjoys children, it's gonna be older kids that can have maybe a bit of a discussion. Like, I don't know if there's any clips of him floating around on things like, I don't know, Return to Superman, or if, China might have a sort of version of that, or him interacting with kids. You might see that he gets very awkward around little kids, even though they're just about like maybe the same in nature to him, toddling around and playing. He might be very awkward around babies, or he might, like I said, might not even like babies. But he's very nurturing in that regard. But when it comes to the Queen of Pentacles, she can be real closed off when she motherfucking wanna be, which makes sense with this. Other than that, there's really not much else that I have to say other than, Mr. Lei is all about his business and he gets it done. And I feel like he does a pretty relatively okay job without showing, his more shadow-ish side, the side of himself he doesn't really want the public to see naturally, as is. So let me know what you think. Post your theories in the comments. Send requests in the comments. Drop a like. Send requests over on the blog. Drop your comments in the blog. Naturally, as is. If you can't get down with it, get down. Don't get down with friends. Adios.